It's a story that starts like so many others, a hot city summer, teenagers with freedom, the world ahead of them. But this one ends with a question mark that's haunted Toronto for nearly 2 decades. On August 14th, 2006, Eva Ho, Jackie Lee, and Kevin Lim walked out into the warm evening and vanished. They didn't just miss curfew, they left behind silent phones, grieving families, and a mystery police never solved. The Toronto teen trio's disappearance isn't just about that night, it's tied to another tragedy weeks earlier. Their close friend, Phillip Sit, was murdered. His death was targeted, brutal, and it shattered their world. Grief and fear replaced what should have been a carefree summer. Were these events connected? A murdered friend, then 3 more vanish. It feels like a pattern: revenge, silencing, or escape. These questions have haunted investigators, families, and a city desperate for answers. This is a case about absence of answers, closure, and 3 young lives. Eva, Jackie, and Kevin weren't just names on a poster. They were kids with dreams, inside jokes, and families who loved them. And then, one day, they were gone. To understand this mystery, you have to go back to the summer of 2006, to the murder that started it all, and to the final ordinary day when 3 teenagers walked out the door. It's a story about what we know and everything we don't. The silence they left behind is deafening. This is the story of the Toronto teen trio, and it begins with a loss that changed everything. Before the trio, there was Phillip Sit, the anchor of their group, charismatic, loyal, and protective. At 17, he was the glue for Eva, Jackie, and Kevin, sharing secrets and believing they were invincible. That illusion shattered on July 23, 2006, when Phillip was found murdered in a Scarborough park, a targeted, violent attack. Police suspected gang involvement aside of Phillip, hidden from even his closest friends. His murder was a devastating blow, bringing fear and grief into their lives. Eva, Jackie, and Kevin became withdrawn, their laughter replaced by silence. They attended his funeral, faces marked by a grief beyond their years. Did Phillip's secret die with him, or did it follow his friends? His murder wasn't just a tragic event, it was the catalyst for what came next. The police questioned the trio, but what they knew remains locked away with their own disappearance. Phillip's death set the stage for a mystery that would only deepen. Who were they? Eva Ho, 16, quiet and artistic, loyal to her friends, changed after Phillip's death, more reserved, struggling with grief. Jackie Lee, also 16, outgoing and social, the planner of the group, became anxious and secretive after the tragedy. Kevin Lim, 17, the dependable older brother figure, was especially close to Phillip. After the murder, he grew sullen and burdened by guilt. Each processed their trauma differently, but they clung to each other for support. Their bond, once forged in joy, was now held together by shared loss and fear. They were just teenagers, trying to navigate an adult tragedy. The summer that should have been about freedom became a season of anxiety and suspicion. Their families noticed the changes: withdrawal, sleeplessness, secrecy. The trio's world had shifted, and they were left searching for safety in each other. On that final day, they carried this burden with them as they walked away from everything they knew. Their disappearance wasn't just a vanishing. It was the culmination of a summer marked by fear. They were more than missing persons. They were 3 young people caught in a storm they couldn't escape. Their story is a reminder of how quickly innocence can be lost, and how sometimes the people we think we know best are fighting battles we can't see. The mystery of Eva, Jackie, and Kevin begins with who they were and what they were running from. August 14, 2006, an ordinary Monday in Toronto's summer. Eva spent the morning sketching, told her mum she'd meet Jackie and Kevin at the mall, and left around 2 p.m. Jackie worked a shift at the bubble tea shop, went home to change, and left for the mall, promising to be home for dinner. Kevin worked on his car, showered, dressed, and told his sister he was meeting friends. Each left home with little fanfare. No one imagined it was the last time they'd be seen. The trio met at Scarborough Town Centre. Security cameras caught them walking together at 4 p.m, no distress, just three friends. They bought drinks, browsed stores, sat in the food court. At 5:30 p.m, they left the mall on foot, heading toward a bus stop. This was the last confirmed sighting of Eva, Jackie, and Kevin. No one saw them after that. Three teenagers, dressed for summer, walked away from the mall and into a mystery. Their ordinary day became the starting point for an extraordinary disappearance. The city would never be the same, and their families' lives would be forever changed. As evening fell, worry set in. Jackie missed dinner, unusual for her. Calls to her phone went straight to voicemail. Eva and Kevin's phones were silent too. The families reached out to each other, realizing all three teens were missing. Panic spread. Friends hadn't seen them. No one had heard from them after the mall. By 10 p.m, police were called. The initial response was cautious. Maybe they were just out late. But the families knew this was different. The connection to Phillip's murder made their fear urgent. The silence felt deliberate, planned or forced. The night became a vigil. Parents waited by the phone, hoping for a call that never came. Every hour that passed, hope faded, replaced by dread. Their bedrooms stayed empty, their belongings untouched. The last sighting at 5:30 p.m. became the vanishing point, the last known moment before they disappeared. The ordinary had turned into the unthinkable. The city awoke to a mystery that would haunt it for years. Three teenagers had vanished without a trace, and the search for answers had only just begun. The silence was total, the fear overwhelming. The trio was gone, and nothing would ever be the same. By morning, the crisis was clear. Eva, Jackie, and Kevin were missing. Police launched a full investigation, retracing their last steps at the mall, collecting security footage, and interviewing witnesses. Families printed flyers, canvassed neighborhoods, and pleaded for information. The city took notice. The trio's faces appeared on news broadcasts, their story capturing public fear. Police checked cell phone records. Nothing. The phones all went silent after they left the mall. Bank accounts were untouched. No emails, no messages, no clues. It was as if their lives had frozen in time. No witnesses saw them after the mall. No one saw them get into a car or at the bus stop. Searches of nearby parks and ravines turned up nothing. The first 48 hours yielded no evidence, no leads, just silence. For the families, it was a blur of frantic activity and growing terror. As the second day ended, hope for a quick resolution faded. The realization set in. Their children were truly gone. The city was left with questions and no answers. The mystery had only deepened. Weeks turned to months. The investigation slowed, starved of leads. Police followed every tip, re-interviewed friends, and probed Phillip Sit's murder for connections. They checked travel records, border crossings, and digital footprints. Nothing. The trio's digital silence was total. No secret plans, no hidden messages. The case became a vacuum. No crime scene, no ransom, no credible sightings. As the one-year mark passed, the case went cold. The task force disbanded. For the families, it was devastating. The world moved on, but they remained trapped in uncertainty. The wall of silence was impenetrable. The darkest theory is foul play. Eva, Jackie, and Kevin were silenced because they knew too much about Phillip's murder. Their disappearance was coordinated, possibly forced, by people wanting to erase witnesses. The lack of evidence fits professional criminals know how to make people vanish. Police always considered this the most likely scenario, but without proof, no charges could be laid. The teens' fear before they vanished supports this theory. Maybe they were threatened. Maybe they were deciding whether to go to police. But abducting three teens in public without a trace is difficult, even for seasoned criminals. No witnesses, no struggle, no suspicious vehicles, just silence. The foul play theory makes sense but leaves questions. Its proof may be buried forever with the trio's secrets. The case remains unsolved, the truth elusive. Another theory: did the trio run away, desperate to escape the danger after Phillip's murder? Their coordinated disappearance could suggest a plan, not an abduction. But they left with little money, no extra clothes, and untouched bank accounts. Surviving off the grid for years would be nearly impossible for 3 teenagers. Their families insist it's out of character. They were close, not the type to inflict such pain by leaving without a word. The idea offers hope, but little comfort. It's a theory that's hard to accept and even harder to prove. The truth remains out of reach. As years passed, the case faded from headlines but never from the families' lives. Every anniversary, they held vigils, issued appeals, and begged for answers. Police kept the case alive, re-releasing information, hoping for a break. Hope changed, from expecting the teens to walk through the door to hoping for any sign, even just closure. The families lived in limbo, celebrating birthdays for children frozen in time. Their pleas became whispers into the void. Just tell us what happened. Let us bring our children home. The case remains open, a file full of questions and heartbreak. The city remembers, even as the years stretch on. The search for truth continues, fueled by love and the refusal to forget. The silence endures, but so does hope. Today, the disappearance of Eva, Jackie and Kevin is one of Toronto's most haunting cold cases. It's a story that endures because it could happen to anyone. 3 kids, gone without a trace. The case is a cautionary tale about the hidden struggles of teenagers and the dangers that can lurk beneath the surface. For the families, the wound never heals. They live with ambiguous loss denied closure. Their fight for answers is a testament to love and resilience. The trio are remembered not as statistics, but as beloved children. The mystery is about absence, of answers, justice, and 3 young lives. Some questions may never be answered, but the city remembers. We remember Eva, Jackie, and Kevin, and hope that one day the truth will emerge. Until then, their story remains a haunting reminder of what can be lost and what must never be forgotten.